Grand Arising Beloveds, my name is Sheena with the Way of Namaste, and today I wanted to come on and share a Celtic Cross tarot spread. Before we begin, I invite us into a bit of attunement, inviting in a deep breath in through the nose and exhaling softly through the mouth. Let's do that again, just deeply breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. I invite you to feel your body as a temple of continuity, feeling this golden thread of all that has endured through you. Invitation with each inhale to receive the wisdom of your ancestors, and with each exhale to release the stories of failure, the ones that no longer define who you be. If it feels in alignment, I invite you to visualize this radiant lotus of gold unfolding at your heart space, and notice how within it there rests this single pearl, unbreakable, whole, luminous. This is the essence of preservation. This is the middle path between the fear of loss and the illusion of control. And here we are invited to remember that what is sacred can never truly be lost. On this next breath, maybe saying to yourself, whispering, or just perceiving this mantra, I preserve what is eternal. I venerate what endures. And I release that which is complete. The frequency of our Celtic Cross tarot reading comes through Gene Key 32, from failure to veneration. And this is the pathway of preservation. So, this shadow of failure is the fear that life might not sustain, that we may fail or lose our purpose, or that we may be forgotten. This failure can manifest in us as anxiety around our time, our success, our productivity, and even our inherent worth. In the shadow space, the ego is grasping for control. It's trying to preserve what must evolve and change. So through this gift of preservation, we stop clinging. This becomes our intelligent wisdom for caring what truly serves life. This is like the gardener's wisdom to prune so that new growth can flourish. In this frequency, we are invited to trust the seasons of our becoming, to honor our body, our home, and our earth as vessels of continuity. In its highest octave, all life is seen as sacred. This divine expression of veneration is when we bow to the miracle of existence itself, to every ending as a seed of renewal. In the Hindu traditions, this is the spirit of Diwali. This is the light that emerges from darkness and reverence that blooms through humility. So let's just take a moment and acknowledge the miracle that you are. How every single thing had to line up for you to be here now. And what an absolute divine orchestration this is. That even on your darkest days, the days of heartbreak and despair and grief, that you were strong enough to overcome every last one of them, bringing you here. So because we are in the spirit of Diwali, before we go into our reading, I'd love to share an Ashta Lakshmi 8 directional prayer. This is a prayer for radiant abundance for Diwali. So as we begin, let's bring our awareness to the direction of the east, to our beloved guardians of the east, to the womb of creation, birther of new worlds, and the first ray of a new day. We bow to you, Adi Lakshmi, our primordial mother and eternal source of grace. May we remember our divine origin and walk in truth, anchored in the remembrance that abundance begins in the heart that knows that it is whole. Om Shreem Adi Lakshmiye Namaha. And may we now turn our awareness to the southeast, as together we invoke Dana Lakshmi, the giver of wealth. O luminous flame of the southeast, keeper of prosperity and right livelihood, bless our hands to create with integrity, our words to circulate blessings, and our honorings to serve the highest and greatest good. May our resources ripple as rivers of generosity. Om Shreem Dana Lakshmiye Namaha. Let us now bring our awareness to the direction of the south as we call upon Dana Lakshmi, the nourisher of life. Beloved South, hearth of nourishment and harvest, we give thanks for every grain, every drop, every bloom. May our bodies be sustained by the earth's abundance and our tables overflow with gratitude. Allow us to remember that to feed another is holy. Om Shreem Dana Lakshmiye Namaha. We now turn our attention to the southwest. Gaja Lakshmi, the pillar of sovereignty. O miraculous one adorned with elephants, grant us majestic grace and inner strength. May we carry ourselves with dignity and kindness, and lead not through power, but through presence. Allow prosperity to arrive with humility and wisdom. Om Shreem Gaja Lakshmiye Namaha. We now turn to the west, evoking the spirit of Santana Lakshmi, our mother of continuity. Beloved West, where sun meets sea and endings birth beginnings, we honor the lineages that flow through us. Bless our families, our nations, our creations, and our sacred unions. May every seed we plant carry love into all our lineages, 7 times 7 times 7 generations back, and 7 times 7 times 7 generations forward. Om Shreem Santana Lakshmiye Namaha. We now turn our attention to the direction of northwest as we invoke Veera Lakshmi, the flame of courage. O fierce goddess of valor, ignite our hearts with fearless devotion. May we stand for truth with compassion and act with the steady faith of warriors of love. Bless us to overcome darkness with unwavering light. Om Shri Veera Lakshmi Namaha. Let us now bring our attention to the guardians of the north, Vidya Lakshmi, the giver of wisdom. Beloved North, mountain of knowing, open our minds to divine intelligence. May every lesson ripen into understanding, and may we remember that true learning is love embodied in motion. Illuminate our path with clarity and discernment. Om Shri Vidya Lakshmi Namaha. We now bring our awareness to the direction of the northeast as we evoke Vijaya Lakshmi, the bringer of victory. O dawn of triumph and fulfillment, bless us to rise above illusion and walk our path in service to our Dharma. May our success uplift all beings, and our victories be honorings, offerings to world peace. Through you, light prevails in every direction. Om Shri Vijaya Lakshmi Namaha. Inviting in a deep breath. And exhaling softly and gently. We have opened our 8-petaled lotus, honoring each of our directions and our emanations of our beloved Maha Lakshmi. Let us now place our hands on our heart, the heart of all abundance, as we turn in now to our sacred center. We invoke you, Maha Lakshmi, the golden flame that unites all directions within and around us. May your beauty, grace, and compassion fill our hearts. Allow our lives to become your living yantra, a radiant geometry of gratitude, generosity, and love. Om Shri Maha Lakshmi Namaha. Taking in another deep breath in as we allow these words to land in our body, feeling the emanations of Lakshmi and all the glory that is here now. Breathing it in as we receive and exhaling with love as we so generously give this energy back into our field. So we begin our Celtic Cross reading at the heart of the matter, and it's the 7 of Cups. You stand at a threshold of choice, surrounded by many shimmering possibilities. The 7 of Cups asks, which dream is born of truth and which is illusion? In the field of Gene Key 32, this is our testing ground, where failure tempts us to scatter our energy through distraction. But Lakshmi whispers, not every cup must be filled. Choose the one that preserves your light. Be mindful of where you place your energy. Our challenge comes through the 3 of Swords. Heartbreak has become the crucible of clarity. Pain opens the heart chambers wider than comfort ever could. And the shadow of failure is often hidden here, in this sense that you've been pierced by life itself. Yet, when we allow ourselves the space for conscious mourning, we refine what devotion is. So, this card invites you to allow your tears to become honorings, offerings. This is your sacred alchemy. Where we're coming from in the past is the Empress. The garden of the past is lush with creativity, fertility, and love. And the Empress shows you that you've already birthed beauty from chaos. The Empress represents the divine feminine who preserves life through nourishment. Her presence reminds us all that abundance is not earned, it's inherent and remembered. What we're conscious of is the moon. During this passage, we experience the Libra New Moon. So here we are aware that not all is clear. The moon invites us to draw into the mystery, inviting intuition over certainty. And this is where veneration begins, and bowing to what cannot yet be understood. So trust your inner tides. Trust that they are the same waters that Lakshmi stirs when she rises from the cosmic ocean. This particular new moon falls at the end of the season, so it doesn't have the same texture of newness that new moons often invite, but really a sacred pause of shining a light on what has been cloudy and obscured from our view. Instead of leaping into something brand new, this may instead be putting the final touches on a project that we've already started, that perhaps we were simply waiting for the divine time to complete. What's coming up for us in the future is the Five of Wands. This is the card of boys with sticks. And here, creative tension and healthy competition arise to strengthen our resolve. This card teaches us to dance without losing our center. That sometimes conflict refines our purpose. Friction polishes the pearl. This is where we learn what is worth fighting for. So, invitation to stay in playful integrity rather than jumping to a place of reaction. So, what's stirring up through the unconscious is the Five of Cups. So, beneath it all, there's still sorrow for what has been lost. Yet, in this card, there's two cups that remain upright. This is the preserved wisdom of every experience. This position is the hidden alchemist chamber, when you turn gratitude into grace, allowing grief to transform us, to see the beauty in all that is, even if it has been lost. How we think about all this comes through the Knight of Wands. So you, the seeker, are aflame with purpose again. The Knight of Wands channels preserved passion into new creation. So even after heartbreak, your spirit rides forward with courage. This is Jinky 32's preservation in movement. It's carrying the sacred torch through the night. Many of us have been engaged in a sacred pilgrimage, 40 days of walking 108 miles. And though we can pause and we can rest and find stillness, this card gives us that flame to ignite, the passion to keep going. Rest, but do not quit. Our environment is reflected through the Queen of Swords. So, surrounding you is the frequency of discernment. The Queen of Swords helps us to see through illusion and to speak with integrity. She's like the sword of Lakshmi that cuts away the excess that we don't need, She helps us clarify our truth and teaches us that compassion and boundaries coexist. Lakshmi does not enter a space of lack. She invites us to purify our vessel, our thoughts, so that we can be open to receive her. Our hopes and fears this week is the Nine of Cups. We long for fulfillment, and maybe we fear that it may never arrive. So this Nine of Cups assures us that joy is available when you acknowledge and you honor what already is. Wish fulfillment begins in contentment, the subtle act of venerating the present moment. Every day I choose to start my day in gratitude as a way to create the miracle frequency around me. What am I grateful for in this moment? Even in the days that I can feel unwell, I might see a butterfly right in that moment, or a hummingbird. And by practicing this for, 13 years, I've been able to cultivate the space for grace, to find the blessing in the lesson, to choose gratitude instead of focusing solely on the grief. Our outcome this week comes through the Four of Swords. This is a card of rest, of integration and sacred pause, perfect for the Libra New Moon. This journey culminates not in action, but in restoration. And just like the calm after Diwali's lights dim, silence allows our new pattern to take root. So this Four of Swords is about preserving our energy for the next creative cycle, inviting in that inner equilibrium, the gift of Gene Key 32 preservation made manifest. So, invitation this week to rest, but do not quit. For all of us deserve to follow the rhythms of nature. In the Northern Hemisphere, we're coming into the season of darkness. And this may feel like a season of withdrawal, perhaps some isolation. And may we learn to find the balance in seeing this as self-care, a place where we get to fill our chalice up before we march on into the next project. Because we can't share from an empty cup. And we all deserve the feeling of deep rest. And this, in the Northern Hemisphere, is the season for it. And even in the Southern Hemisphere, as spring is beginning to emerge, we still practice the rhythms of nature, recognizing everything does not bloom at once. It takes its turn. Sometimes we don't acknowledge how much work is being done under the soil, as the first seed is breaking ground and breaking through. So let us all give ourselves this same grace of recognizing how much energy it takes, not only to start a new project, but to see it all the way through. This week, I'm sending you so